They say success is about focusing on the few things that truly matter and letting go of the rest. And on the other hand, principles are fundamental truths that shape our understanding across various domains, from physics and psychology to business and personal productivity. They help us navigate complexity by providing clear, actionable insights. And among these principles is the 80-20 principle, or the Pareto principle, also known as the principle of least effort, the principle of imbalance, the law of the vital few, and the trivial many. It asserts that a small proportion of causes or inputs often lead to a large proportion of results or outputs. This principle highlights that in many situations, roughly 80% of effects come from 20% of causes, emphasizing efficiency and the impact of focusing on the most significant factors. The 80-20 principle was first observed by the Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto in the early 20th century. Pareto noticed that about 80% of Italy's wealth was held by just 20% of the population. This observation led to the broader realization that this 80-20 distribution is prevalent in various aspects of life and business. So how does this principle apply to our daily lives? In our personal lives, the 80-20 principle can also be transformative. Consider our relationships or activities. Often 80% of our happiness comes from just 20% of our relationships or activities. And by focusing on the relationships and activities that bring us the most joy, we can enhance our overall well-being and fulfillment. For instance, one may find that 80% of their happiness comes from just a few activities like painting, reading, or hiking. In the business world too, 80% of a company's profits come from just 20% of its customers or products. A real-world example comes from Coca-Cola. Despite offering hundreds of products worldwide, over 80% of its revenue comes from a few best-selling beverages like Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, and Sprite. This showcases how concentrating on high-impact products can drive significant profits. In terms of time management, think about your daily tasks. You often find that 80% of your results come from just only 20% of your efforts. A study by Rescue Time, a popular time tracking app, found that most people spend only about 20% of their work week on high-impact activities, while the rest is spent on tasks like checking emails and attending meetings. Imagine if you could identify the 20% of the tasks that truly make a difference in your productivity. How much more effective would you be? The 80-20 principle can also be applied in broader context. For instance, in health and wellness, focusing on the 20% of exercises or dietary changes that contribute to the most of your well-being can lead to significant improvements. You don't need to do every type of exercise. 20% of the workouts, like squats, push-ups, and planks, often deliver 80% of the fitness results. In personal development too, identifying 20% of your skills or habits that yield the most growth can help you focus on your efforts more effectively. In community work, recognizing the 20% of initiatives or volunteers that drive 20% of the impact allows for more efficient use of resources. Many large companies successfully apply the 80-20 principle by focusing on key areas that drive most of their results, like Apple, which concentrates on high-impact products like the iPhone, and Amazon, which prioritizes profitable segments such as Amazon Web Services and Prime membership. Google focuses on its core search and ad revenue. Microsoft invests in its main software products and Azure cloud services. And Netflix enhances high-impact content and user experience. By concentrating resources and efforts on these critical areas, these companies achieve substantial growth and profitability. So what are the challenges and misconceptions? It's important to note that the 80-20 principle is a guideline and not an absolute rule. The exact ratio may vary, and in some situations, the distribution might not be as clear. For example, you might face scenarios where multiple factors contribute to success, making it challenging to identify the crucial 20%. The key is to focus on the impact rather than strictly adhering to numerical ratios, balancing this with other responsibilities and understanding that not all efforts will fit nearly into the 80-20 distribution can help you apply this principle more effectively. The 80-20 rule has been championed by influential thinkers across various fields. Richard Koch, in his seminal work, The 80-20 Principle, has extended this concept to personal and business efficiency. Tim Ferriss, author of the 4-Hour Workweek, advocates for using the principle to maximize productivity by focusing on high-impact tasks. Perry Marshall, through 80-20 Sales and Marketing, highlights its application in refining sales strategies. Chris Anderson, in The Long Wait Tail, explores how the principle affects market distribution, while Tony Robbins incorporates it into the strategies for achieving personal and professional success. Together, these voices illustrate the principle's transformative power in optimizing results across diverse areas of life and work. The 80-20 principle can significantly enhance both life and business by focusing on the critical 20% that yields 80% of the results. It helps prioritize efforts, increase efficiency, and improve decision-making by concentrating on the most impactful factors. This principle optimizes resources allocation, goal setting, problem solving, and time management by targeting key areas that drive success. In relationships too, it highlights the importance of nurturing meaningful connections, while in personal development, it focuses on the skills and habits that provide the greatest benefits. As Tony Robbins insightfully said, success is doing what you want, when you want, where you want, and with whom you want, as much as you want. Thus, embracing the 80-20 principle can make achieving your goals easier and more fulfilling.